Okay, is it just me or is Karen getting on your nerves with these lies and these slick moves? Let's talk about it. And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to pull my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What, Cookie? Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac. This is season 3, episode 11. Karen's on my nerves with these slick moves and these lies that she's telling. Robin's still whining. Really? Like, cut it out. Anyway, first thing we see, Karen and Ray. Their asses that went out for dinner and whatnot. And, you know, they were actually talking about their parents and they got all emotional and all of that, which led them to speaking about the whole event. They're getting ready to do the living room gala. They're ready to do that again. And along with that, there's some questionable invitations that went out, and then there's some questionable instructions that went out. But we're going to talk about it. Anyway, then we actually see Giselle sitting down with Ashley, and they have a whole conversation about Karen's loyalty to Robin. Where's her loyalty to Robin? This, that, thing, and the other. Whatever. This is, again, that's a game they play. They play kid games, and this is just a game they play in general. And again, as usual, Ashley right in the center of the bullshit. So didn't shock me. Didn't shock me. But anyway, next we see Monique, and she meets up with Kendall. Kendall, as you all know, is Sherman's ex-wife. So she's made fast friends with Kendall. And again, Monique, girl, this is going to be interesting when we get to the reunion. Because the things that are being said and the things that are being done, the moves that are being made, that now people are just getting a chance to see. All this shit is going to come to a head, and it's going to be a problem. You literally sat there on film with Kendall, and you said, not Kendall, you said that Giselle was disrespectful and trifling. She's trifling because she didn't tell Kendall that she was screwing around with Sherman. Well, first of all, she didn't owe Kendall a dissertation about her fucking her ex-husband. There was no point. They were not friends. They knew each other from the community. They've run across each other. Their paths have actually run across one another, but they were in no way, shape, or form friends. So no, she didn't owe her a phone call to tell her, well, hey, I'm gonna slip and fall on your ex-husband's dick. She didn't owe her that. She didn't owe her that. So I'm not going to buy into that she's trifling and disrespectful. It just is what it is. The dick didn't work for you. It's going to work for me. Bitch, I'm about to get this coin. And that's basically what it really is all about. People be mad about money. Because from what they went through, don't sound to me like she's real pressed about the dick. So it's just you don't want me to have the coins or whatever. But I don't think she was real pressed about wanting him per se, but don't want to see nobody else with him living her past life. Whatever, but we'll get to know more about Kendall as we go on, I'm sure, because they didn't just thrust her right into this little situation. So I was like, okay, that's interesting. And yeah, Kendall feels some type of way, which says that, girl, you're a little crazy, but okay. She found out about the whole him and Giselle through her son having a visit with his dad. You mind in other folks' business. Go sit down, Kendall. You claim you've moved on. Move on. And She's not your friend. And I'm all for that. You know, friends don't date friends' ex, but she's not your friend. She was never your friend. Anyway, um, speaking of friends, Sharice. Sharice, you are a whole different kind of petty. A whole different kind of petty. These are my friends and my friends only. Girl, sit down. You have questions about this whole thing of Monique taking on Kendall. Yeah, there's a whole shady thing as to why she's really doing these things, but it don't have nothing to do with you. I think it really her whole getting to be friends with Kendall has a lot to do with she don't really like Giselle. That's what it's all about because like Sharice was pissed off about her inviting Kendall to her event and not discussing it with her or asking her. Well, first I introduced her to my friends and she used that to do her event. And then she had one spot left and she's going to do what? Give it to my friend. I'm like, you don't own these people. You don't own these people. Go sit down. That's a whole new kind of petty. Now, speaking of petty, Monique, you are petty. And you keep on now. You done went through a whole season and I don't think you really want it with Giselle. I really don't. But you pushing. You pushing toward it. And the whole thing with you and Kendall is all about Giselle. It's all about some shady shit. You did, and I don't know if you all caught this. She didn't even speak about Kendall by her name. She said, I had one seat left, so why wouldn't I give that seat to Sherman's wife? Or Sherman's ex-wife. You're referring to her by the position that she plays in your plan. You don't give a fuck about her. It was about the fact that it was Sherman's ex-wife. I'd go ahead and get it, Giselle. Petty. But go ahead on. You gonna get what you're looking for. Fucking with that little green-eyed demon, honey. Go ahead. Anyway, I see Giselle and Robin get together, and they're actually getting their whole thing. Giselle's adding fuel. Robin's still whining about that damn Karen lying and not coming to her event. And Giselle put the battery in her back door. I want you to say this. I want you to do this. I want you to react this way. And she's just eating it up. I was like, stupid ass. But okay. I mean, it's cool. Whatever. So they got a whole plan. Now they are team get Karen, bitch. That's what it is. She's like, you know, they planning on letting Karen's ass have it. I said, okay. So now at Monique's event, Karen rolls through, and the first thing she does is invites Kendall to her own charity event. I said, oh, Lord. I said, okay, all right. So, you know, that's going to be an issue. Giselle going to be really having some issues with you, Karen, with that bullshit. Sharice was doing her thing, you know, feeling some kind of way, but not saying nothing, just all up in the confessionals with all her bullshit. I said, oh, God. Karen, you're being questioned about how you're moving as far as these tickets go. You didn't charge Kendall for her ticket. Because, again, you got a whole thing going on like Monique. You're going to do this to get back at Giselle. You know exactly what you're doing. You're still mad at Giselle about that t-shirt and shit. So you done invited Kendall and then comp the ticket to make sure that Kendall comes to get back at Giselle. I see you, bitch. You ain't slick. But the other thing is the other ladies have actually clocked it. You're telling everybody to write their check for their ticket to your business, your personal business account, so that you can get one big tax write-off. Nobody else will be able to write their shit off. You're going to write off all of their money as the donation that goes towards Alzheimer. I said, child, that was some old stuff. You know what? There's something to be said about a bitch who does that, who scampers through and tries to grab all the receipts. Like, Like nobody else has to file a 1099 or anything. Child, it's petty. It's petty. It really is petty. And people see you when you're doing it. That is just petty. And then you're supposed to have so much money. If you have so much money, why are you worried about $2 or $3? And people see you. When you move like that, people see you. They see what you're doing. They may not say anything, but they see what you're doing. Well, these bitches are saying something. They're talking about you. Bitch, you looking broke and petty. Broke and petty. That's what you're looking. Like an old fucking scavenger, bitch. I can't get with it. I got a problem with people trying to jip people and trying to swoon people out of itty bitty tiny bits of money. That's just, I just can't get into that. But then my whole life is not run about $2. That's why I don't never really have a whole issue like that, because I don't let money run my whole life. And everything I do is to try to get some money or try to swindle somebody out of some money. That shit, that ain't no good look, and it ain't a good life at all. And people do see you and see that you petty as hell and that you're a fucking scavenger. Nobody respects a scavenger. Believe it. Believe it. Nobody respects no scavenging ass whore. Anyway. But damn it. And I'm back. Let's move on. Anyway, so the girls are on to Karen Huger and her lies and her shady, broken fucking business swindles. Anyway, Michael and Ashley. Child, why don't y'all just fuck this, chop this up as a loss and be done with it? This marriage is over. It's over. It's over, and it should have been over. He is deflecting about this whole baby thing. He don't want no baby with you, Ashley. Now, you can keep on pushing and you keep on playing and trying to secure the bag and all that, bitch. He don't want no motherfucking baby with you, bitch. He don't. He don't. And he sat and he told you that he didn't want a baby with you, and then he told you why tonight. And I about fell off of this chair when he said, I don't want to see you try to raise my child or children the way that your mother raised you. I said, ooh, gut punch, bitch. Ugh. And that bitch, Ashley was like, what? Yeah, bitch, he said it. Flat out. You ain't got to try to figure it out. You ain't got to try to piece it together. Bitch, he told you. Your mammy wasn't shit. You ain't from shit. And I don't expect that you're going to be shit. And I don't want you raising no child of mine to not be shit either. I ain't feeling it. I was like, girl, the marriage is over. That's done. That's done. And at this point, you actually shouldn't want to have a baby with him. Now, unless you're doing it for money, bitch. Now, I mean, if you're going bamboozling, by all means, now will be the time to get pregnant before he actually leaves. But the marriage is over. That marriage is over. It's done. Yeah, that's done. A mess. And let me say one more thing about Monique. And we probably shouldn't do this. It's probably not fair. But since this whole thing has actually come out about you and this liquor and this alcohol problem, allegedly, and all of this, now every time we see you on screen with a drink, we are questioning you. We probably shouldn't do that. It's probably not really fair because everybody that's on here is drinking. But now that they brought it up and you done crash cars and carry on, now it's becoming a thing where it's like every time we see you with a drunk, we're like, bitch. That's how, that's just kind of how we look at you. That's probably not fair. But, bitch, I need to know, who the fuck takes wine with them to the nail salon? Like, seriously? And then you always have an excuse for why you're bitch, people don't carry wine to the nail shop. Y'all got to go to the nail shop to get y'all toes and y'all hands done and get fucked up while y'all there. You literally had Purse 45 with you. I couldn't get with it. It just wasn't a good look for what all you've had going on. But anyway, Sharice, I see you, girl. Did y'all see her little date, Ray? at the little event. He was cute. And that's all I'm saying. He was cute. How much you pay him, girl? How much did he cost, bitch? Anyway, um, over this is at Karen's little event. Robin and Giselle are showing up in jeans. The two of them actually went to Georgia Brown's. If you've ever, child, I've been to Georgia Brown's before. The food is fantastic. But anyway, they went to Georgia Brown's and they ate, and then they went over to Karen's event, and they both wore had on jeans. I said, "Oh no, they coming there to start some shit," and that's what their whole plan. They said, "We coming in here. We're gonna go up on Karen. We're gonna let that bitch run. We're gonna tell that bitch about herself." I said, "Oh my God." I said, "This is gonna be a whole mess. A whole mess." So I was like, all right. And that's where the program actually ended with that. A couple more things I'm actually going to talk about here because they're going to get all into that next week. That'll be next week's episode. So just hold that right there. Because she didn't, when she came in, she hasn't even seen Kendall or any of that stuff. So it's going to be a hot ass mess when next week comes up. But anyway, last couple little things here. Robin is now flipping houses with her mom. And we heard about it earlier on, but we've actually getting to see her kind of moving about. So it's like, okay, that's cool. Chris and Candace. Candace, I want you to don't end your marriage before you get to your wedding. Because the last time you went out shopping for venues and talking about food and all of that, you were with your mother. And you left out crying because your mother ran all over you. So then this next time you went out with Chris. And then you ran all over Chris. And you got on Chris's motherfucking nerves. And I'm waiting to see what happens next week because that wasn't a good look. And I think he was about fed up with your ass about 20 minutes in. And you weren't listening and you were playing this game like you had all this money and you were acting like a spoiled child down to the venue. That shit wasn't working. That shit wasn't resonating with him real well. Now I'm trying to tell you, you better pull back, bitch, before you don't be getting married. Talking that shit. You even actually had to throw that out there, like I got to get up and walk off before there don't be a wedding. Well, bitch, you think that's going to hurt someone's feelings? You better get your shit together. You better get your shit together because I don't think you're dealing with that kind of man. So you might want to pull back, sis, with that bullshit. Very interesting. I can't wait to see where they go next week. Funny. This was funny. And then I'm letting you all out of here. And this is all out of order, child. But why was Karen? Karen and Ray are so rich. Karen and Ray, and what was her daughter's name? Raven. Why was they all squeezed up in that motherfucking Uber on the way to their event? They were just as squeezed up in the back of that car. I said, go ahead with y'all some rich ass. Squeezed up. I said, I bet y'all shit was wrinkled when y'all got there. Just a fucking mess. And the only other thing worse than that at Karen's event was Ashley's head. Bitch, you got to stop. Now your husband got some money. Why are you doing your own hair? You don't need to do your own hair. Your hair looked like a goddamn puffball. You look just like a cotton ball that had been sitting in the corner of an old abandoned house. Your head looked a fucking mess. And you walked around running your mouth. Running your mouth. As soon as you heard about Kendall and who she was and all, your mouth was running. I said, girl, we see you fluttering around getting the shit started. Somebody gonna beat your ass. Go ahead. Keep on. Anyway, I'll catch y'all next week with this shit here. Next week, I think is going to be very explosive. It's going to be a whole lot of this going on next week, and I'm here for it. So, all right, I'll catch y'all then.